If you're not horny, you're not healthy. And this is what no one tells you about how to regain your sexual desire. Sexual desire says a lot about your overall health. If you're feeling off and can't pinpoint why, this video is for you. Libido is part of the broader concept of sexual dysfunction. Libido refers to sexual desire or drive. We can describe sexual dysfunction as the inability to maintain satisfying sexual relationships. Due to what? Due to one or several of the following problems: premature ejaculation, retrograde, delayed or unejaculation, erectile dysfunction, low libido, compulsive sexual behavior closely related to pornography consumption, anorgasmia, and others. Let's focus on the topic of desire and libido. Do you have any problems related to that? How do I know if I have low desire? Low desire, clinically defined as hypoactive sexual desire disorder. Hypoactive sexual desire disorder for short is a lack of interest in sexual activity that persists for more than 6 months and also causes distress or interpersonal difficulties. And this last point is totally key, since if low desire does not cause problems for you at all, there is no diagnosis. There are many people who have low desire without this being an obstacle in their lives. Do you think this problem is infrequent? Look, approximately 35% of women suffer from low libido, and it's much more frequent in menopause. We're talking about 1 in 3. In men, the data is less clear because we have the bad habit of not talking about these things, but we could also say that 1 in 10 men suffer from this disorder to a greater or lesser extent and at some point in their life. In those cases, erectile dysfunction is usually behind it. What factors contribute to a good libido? We need to understand libido in a biopsychosocial model. The main factors that contribute to a solid and stable libido over time are as follows. Hormonal factors in women, estrogen, and very importantly testosterone, both play an essential role in maintaining desire. In men, testosterone is fundamental for developing arousal. With morbidities and general health, the presence of chronic diseases by themselves or in association with drugs and side effects usually causes a decrease in desire. That's why we said earlier that having desires usually correlates well with good health. In the end, sexual activity is a luxury that nature grants us when everything else is working well and there are no imminent threats to life. When discussing health, mental well-being is nearly more crucial than physical fitness in terms of desire. Depression or anxiety, as you know and may have experienced at some point in your life, decrease or eliminate desire. Self-esteem. What is your concept of yourself? Your comfort level with your body and abilities. Satisfaction in your relationship. Obviously, emotional closeness with your partner and whether you are well or not is central to having desire. Sexual communication. And even when things are good, often what's missing is simply open communication about sexual needs and desires with your partner. Having different expectations or disparity of desire and not communicating it is usually a very common problem. How can I improve desire with supplements? Parallel to the improvement of the above factors, there are nutraceuticals considered as aphrodisiacs, substances that have the potential to increase desire and improve sexual performance. The term comes from the Greek goddess of love, Aphrodite. Throughout the history of mankind, these aphrodisiacs have been desperately sought after, which have been shrouded in a halo of mysticism. Let's see what the main ones are. We have the Tribulus terrestris. This supplement has been shown to significantly improve sexual desire in women with female sexual dysfunction. This study assessed the efficacy of Tribulus terrestris for premenopausal women with low libido. The results showed a significant improvement in the total score of the female sexual function index, especially in the domains of desire, sexual arousal, lubrication, orgasm, pain, and satisfaction. In addition, these women treated with Tribulus terrestris showed an increase in free and bioavailable testosterone levels, suggesting that the mechanism of action could be related to the increase of these hormones. Another study in women, this time postmenopausal, also found significant improvements in all domains of the female sexual function index except for lubrication in the group treated with Tribulus terrestris. Panax ginseng. Panax ginseng is a plant used to improve mood, cognitive functions, and immunity. The molecules responsible for its actions are called ginsenosides and are usually taken in the form of ginseng extract in doses ranging from 200 to 400 milligrams daily, standardized to a 2-3% of ginsenosides. But does it have the ability to boost libido or treat erectile dysfunction? A fermented variant of Panax ginseng, Korean red ginseng, has the ability to improve erections in men and slightly increase libido. We also saw how it could improve erectile dysfunction in men. How does it do it? Well, it improves both erectile dysfunction and libido through the same mechanism. In short, it boosts nitric oxide synthesis in the endothelium of the cavernous bodies, a mechanism shared by other libido-enhancing substances. To understand this, one must understand how an erection is physiologically produced. For an erection to occur, a spinal reflex has to generate the relaxation of the smooth muscle of the cavernous bodies in the penis, which are the structures that fill with blood and become turgid. This relaxation allows the cavernous bodies to fill with blood, producing an erection. But the spinal reflex is modulated by tactile, olfactory, auditory, and mental factors. That's why each person is excited by different things and why libido is so subjective. In addition to the spinal reflex, nitric oxide is also necessary. During the arousal process, the nitric oxide synthase enzyme is activated to release nitric oxide from the axons of the parasympathetic nerve endings. The blood flows towards the walls of the blood vessels in the penis and clitoris, which are erectile tissues. This nitric oxide activates several enzymes that allow the generation of a substance called cyclic guanosine monophosphate, which ultimately is the messenger that allows the relaxation of the cavernous bodies and the entry of blood. This molecule is precisely where sildenafil acts, as it inhibits the enzyme that degrades cyclic guanosine monophosphate, making more cyclic guanosine monophosphate available, and the erection lasts over time. Fenugreek or the fenugreek or trigonella is a plant that has traditionally been used to improve virility. It was later shown that this supplement could slightly increase testosterone without modifying dihydrotestosterone. That's why many supplements aimed at this purpose and known as testosterone boosters are included. However, its effectiveness as a testosterone booster or enhancer is questionable, as discussed in another video. Its key bioactive compound is called 4-hydroxyisoleucine. Interestingly, it contains a molecule called sotalol that makes body secretions like urine and sweat smell like maple syrup. How to take it? The most well-known patent is testofen, and the most common dose in studies is 500 to 600 milligrams daily for at least 6 to 8 weeks. In this double-blind placebo-controlled study, participants who received 600 milligrams of testofen per day for 6 weeks showed a significant improvement in libido. Macandina, Maca or Lepidium meleni, is a Peruvian herb that grows at an altitude of between 4,004 and 4,500 meters in the Andes. Maca has been used for centuries as an alleged aphrodisiac and has recently gained popularity as an adaptogen. An adaptogen is a substance that reduces the negative effects of stress on your body. The most well-known is ashwagandha, which we have reviewed in other videos. How does maca improve libido? Let's see what this 12-week clinical trial says, where the effect of maca was compared to a placebo. What was seen is that it has no effect modifying levels of sexual hormones, therefore any improvement does not come from its hormonal effect. But in this other study, a considerable increase in sexual desire was identified, which began to be observed from the 8th week of treatment. The first thing to keep in mind would be that the results are not immediate and may not be seen until the 8th week, according to this work. The participants in this other study had some degree of sexual dysfunction related to serotonin reuptake inhibitor antidepressants, something that is relatively common and improved with 3 grams of maca daily. Therefore, it could also have some degree of usefulness in those people who have side effects related to drugs. Other less proven benefits include reducing hot flashes during perimenopause or improving energy and activity levels. How to take it? The usual dose ranges from 2 to 3 grams of maca root powder to preferably take at breakfast with food. Arginine. L-arginine is an important amino acid because it is associated with increased nitric oxide formation. Nitric oxide is a vasodilating molecule that facilitates the arrival of blood to the genitals and therefore allows the physiological signs of arousal that I do not need to describe. What evidence do we have of the use of arginine? In this comprehensive meta-analysis, when studying the utility of arginine and other related supplements in sexual function and erectile dysfunction, the results favor the use of the amino acid. It appears to be beneficial, but not to the same extent as medications like Viagra or Cialis. In fact, it is sometimes used alongside them, achieving a more powerful combined effect by merging drug and supplement. The doses used in the studies are around 5 grams of L-arginine daily, separated into 2 or 3 doses, with or without food. Citrulline, with better bioavailability, is a good alternative to arginine. Being an amino acid, it has virtually no side effects at the doses used. With these new tools, you can enhance your desire and quality of life. See you next time, subscribe to the channel, big hug, and keep empowering.